My name is Jostin, and I work with the Office of Drug Control Policy with the state. I'm the Prevention, Treatment, Recovery Policies Program Manager. So my focus is on different ways to help the state and to help the population when it comes to reducing overdoses, but also to help in every way when it comes to substance use disorder. Again, prevention, treatment, recovery, that's almost the entire continuum. And so my focus is on looking at what we can do better and coming up with ideas to do that.
Right, like the police chief has taken him to meetings, to different meetings with different stakeholders and stuff like that, different organizations. So when he first got there, of course, each department's different on how they want to integrate them into the field, but he's got this chief is I want you with me. I want you following me. I want to take you and introduce you to people. I want people to know who you are. That way, if you're out doing stuff, they know who you are. Yeah. So that's real. That's cool. He's and the coach is killing it. He's already made 8 referrals to treatment. Just bang, bang, bang. And of course, the department there is so progressive when it comes to recovery too. That helps a lot. So the officers are real receptive. Oh, there they are.
Are you kind of a big deal?
I always kind of had these questions of myself or about myself that, not good enough, those core fears, not good enough, abandonment, those things. And, I struggled with that a lot, just waiting on somebody to leave. As I continued to get older, these emotional issues didn't go away, and I really tried to replace it with everything. Whether it was faith or, people or, things. I just tried to, what can I do to not have to think about these feelings? And, started kind of realizing I needed help and start getting help and start realizing where my issues are. And I didn't like the way it made me feel, so I stopped getting help. And I'm saying this as a clinician. As a clinician, I see my progression through it, and I'm in college at this point, and went back and get my bachelor's degree, have my daughter, and life just is changing, and it's this amazing thing, but it wasn't. October of 2019, again, my life was crashing around me. Everything was falling apart. People were reaching out to help me, and I was ignoring it. And I tried to commit suicide on Halloween that year. I took a bunch of blood pressure medication, and I crawled in bed with my daughter because that's how I wanted to go. At this point in my life, all I wanted to do was be a good dad. That was it. That's always been my goal. Yeah, you want to be successful, and you want to have these things. You want to give people a good life, and you want to give your family a good life. But, when I look at my kids, there was a part of me that was missing that I never wanted them to feel, and I felt like I'd messed that up. Here I am, my life falling apart, and she's at the time 3, and even at 3, she's watching her daddy fall apart, and I just did that, I did that to her. So I crawled in bed with her, and that's how I wanted to go, and that was a mistake.
Oh, didn't even have it ready. Good job. Nope.
I leave the hospital, and I made the choice. This is it. I'm going to change my life. I'm going to be who I need to be, and I couldn't do it. At least I thought I couldn't do it because I messed up again. I had to drink. I started drinking again, and at that point, the tailspin started.
Screaming.
When you don't get scared, you're going to run to the table. I was at a point where, I was going to lose my daughter. Even with the things going on, still nobody knew really how bad it was. So once people started realizing how bad it was it was going to be bad. And here I am still going to work every day, helping people get sober, helping people find their purpose, or hoping I'm helping people find their purpose, and celebrating their milestones. And crying with them and like, being there with them, laughing. But this is what I'm doing. This person that they looked at and they respected. I was afraid. I was afraid to tell someone I had a problem, even my friends, because how can I be this person to all these people and like have this problem? Like, what's it gonna do to them? Like, if I can't do it, how can they do it? And I was so afraid. And of course, we're all human. I was afraid what people would say, and I was afraid what would happen to my reputation. I was afraid what would happen to relationships I built. And again, so here I'm in this spot. I'm there, and I get the most drunk I'd ever been. I drove out a really windy road. Don't even know how I made it because I couldn't see. And I took over 50 benzos. I wanted it to end.
Or tiredness, Father God. I just say the joy of the Lord is your strength.
This is why stigma is awful, because like I had found myself needing help, afraid to ask for help, and then the only way out was to end it. And the only reason I'm here now is because it was a miracle, because I texted my now wife, I'd sent her a text and told her I loved her and everything was gonna be okay. She had no clue why I sent her that message. And as I was losing consciousness somehow, I FaceTimed my daughter's mom, and they watched. They watched as I died. Like, they watched, yelling at the phone for me to wake up. I was still terrified to ask for help. And I finally knew that this had to change. And again, denial and substance use disorder is not simple, because even throughout all of this, I drank 3 days after I left the hospital because I needed one more night. And then I got sober the next day. That was November 6th, 2020. I've been sober since. And I wish I could say that it's been easy since, 'cause it's not, because again, stigma is prevalent. I mean, I have an amazing job. I get to help people, but I'm still worried to talk about this stuff. People know I'm in recovery from substance use disorder, but they don't know the stuff. I'm afraid for people to know that. People who I love, people who are like family to me, I'm afraid for them to know these darkest parts, because what happens? I'll know, like, will I be looked at the same?
Have you missed spinning?
One of the reasons that it was difficult for me is because I didn't know where my status was going to go, right? And I hate to use the word status, but like there was good things in my life. There was like things that I didn't want to lose, like leadership positions and stuff like that. And I was so afraid of what would happen if people found out. Even after I got sober, I was afraid. And there was times it was reinforced. That broke my heart. It hurt me real bad. And that hurt affected me for a long time and made me very, very reluctant to talk about this. So when it came to different things, it's amazing, because with the Office of Drug Control Policy and taking this position, it's somewhere I didn't have to feel that way. Something that I knew from the moment that I first talked to them that I was safe.
Get that booty out.
So I think individuals in recovery need a voice in the community. Deserve a voice in the community, but need a voice in the community. They need a voice when it comes to the PTA meetings, or when it comes to things with the school board, or when it comes to town halls and city. They need that voice, and they should have that voice. But I think there's a lot of fear to it. And I think it probably used to be that individuals were afraid they wouldn't get a job if it was found out. And that's really not the case anymore. Now it's if I go to my kid's parent-teacher conference and they know that I'm in recovery, and like maybe the town I live in is the town I grew up in, and people know, like how am I going to get, do I get treated the same as other parents? Like, or do I kind of do they ask more questions about home? But if people who don't understand addiction or substance use disorder could see how people in recovery love each other, they would see not just that everybody's human, but that we're all in it for the same thing. They love their kids just like these individuals love their kids. They have goals and they have dreams like everybody else does. But we won't accept that this is a disease that we have to fight and that we have to treat, and that there's remissions of it and it can come back, and that it's never going to just be perfect. I'm blessed that this was my first time getting sober and I've stayed sober. And that's not everybody's journey. It's not everybody's journey. And so what we do is we see somebody struggle and stumble and we say that, well, that's just them. And I understand because families experience so much, but we won't call it just a symptom of the disease that they're experiencing. And people are dying every day. And I was one of those people. Like, I came back from it. I didn't have an overdose from fentanyl. I didn't have an overdose from heroin. I tried to do it to myself. And I came back. And there's people who don't want that, who aren't. So here I am today. I'm married. I've got two beautiful girls who pick on me and bully me.
Took Addison to softball practice today, and he came back before he went to worship practice, and I ran him stuff downstairs, and he gets out of the car, and he has these.
Those are mine now.
They're not.
That's it. I'm going to wear those pants when I come to talk to your school.
That's what he's gonna wear when he comes talks to your school.
I'll walk out.
And I have a wife who is just incredible, incredibly supportive, and she's in recovery herself, and she's the strongest person who I know. And she's my biggest champion, and I'm her biggest champion, and we do it together, and we do it our way. Everybody's different, and we have to find how to do this, and we had to stop saying there's one way to do it. We had to understand that everybody has different ways of doing it, and my way is not the same as somebody else's. Pray with me. God, we thank you. We thank you for today. We thank you for just giving us this place that we can come and honor and worship you. Not many people just look at me for me. And that's the kind of relationships, that's the kind of relationships I have here. Those are the kind of relationships we need. My identity isn't Jostin with substance use disorder or Jostin the alcoholic, Jostin in recovery. My identity is Jostin, and I want to be a dad. Do I mess up still? Yeah. Do I know how to be a dad? Not really. Am I making it up as I go sometimes? Absolutely. But I want to be a dad. I want to be a husband. I want those things. I don't want to be Jostin, the person who struggled with this and destroyed his life and tore it down. But yes, did it come back up? Absolutely. I want that to be to build hope off of that. But I don't want to be that Jostin, because that wasn't me. It wasn't me.